Ready for the hottest news from the paddock? Today we have a full menu of emotions, on-track controversies, behind-the-scenes twists, and even a fierce battle between young talents. Let's dive deep into the world of Formula One, covering everything from Verstappen's shocking penalty to the surprising moves of the teams. Want to know what's going on with Ricciardo? And what are Alpine and Aston Martin up to? Stay tuned because we're going to tell you everything in the next few minutes. Oh, and before we start, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon. That way you won't miss any updates from the world of speed. Now let's rev up for this news. Let's start with the topic that's setting the paddock on fire. Max Verstappen's penalty at the Austrian GP. Johnny Herbert, former driver and steward at the Austrian GP, dropped the bombshell. Those 10 seconds were the maximum the FIA could apply. Imagine the look on the McLaren team's faces when they heard that. Andrea Stella, the team boss, was almost fuming, demanding an even harsher penalty. And you know what's crazier? Norris was about to get a penalty for exceeding track limits when the accident happened. That was close, huh? In the end, the poor guy had to retire from the race while Max continued on the track. Now tell me, do you think this penalty was fair? Or did Verstappen deserve something harsher? The season has just begun, and we already have plenty of controversies. Now, folks, let's talk about our beloved honey badger, Daniel Ricciardo. Man, the Australian situation is tenser than the final stretch of a GP. Helmut Marko, that Austrian who doesn't hold back, is already dropping some not-so-subtle hints. According to him, Liam Lawson might be about to steal Daniel's seat. It looks like Red Bull is losing patience, huh? But hold on, Ricciardo isn't throwing in the towel yet. In the last few races, he has shown that he still has gas in the tank, scoring points in 2 of the last 3 GPs. By the way, folks, if you're enjoying these hot F1 news, subscribe to the channel. It really helps the channel and shows that you want more content like this. Back to Ricciardo, the guy sent quite a message, didn't he? He wrote on his helmet, "Not without a fight." Look at that message for the folks at Red Bull. It's practically a war cry about his future in F1. The question remains, will the grid's most famous smile be able to keep his spot, or will we see the honey badger looking for a new nest next season? What do you think? Now, folks, hold on because here comes a bombshell. The teams are more agitated than tires on a warm-up lap. Let's start with Alpine, which has its sights set on Mattia Binotto. That's right, the former Ferrari boss. It seems the French team wants to shake things up after a lukewarm start to the 2024 season, but it gets even more interesting. Alpine is considering becoming a customer team in 2026. Imagine that. They might end up using Ferrari or Mercedes engines. And who's leading these negotiations? None other than Flavio Briatore. Yeah, folks, the paddock is on fire. Meanwhile, on the other side of the grid, Aston Martin is not lagging in the news department. They just announced Andy Cowell as the new CEO. The guy will take over in October, gradually replacing Martin Whitmarsh. And no wonder, Cowell is the genius behind Mercedes' dominant engines. Imagine what he could do with the Aston Martin-Honda partnership in 2026. But wait, there's more. Aston isn't playing around. Besides Cowell, they also hired Enrico Cardile. It's practically a super team forming there. So what do you think? Will Alpine manage to turn things around? And Aston Martin? Will they fight for the title with this powerhouse team? The world of F1 never stops turning, and we're here to keep you in the loop. Hold on, there's more. Do you think only the veterans are stirring up the paddock? The young drivers are coming in strong, ready to shake up Formula One. Let's talk about Oliver Bearman, folks. The kid is killing it. He has already participated in 6 free practice sessions this year, and it looks like Haas has their eye on him for 2025. It's practically 1 foot in the door. But the burning question is, who will be his teammate? Kevin Magnussen, or maybe even Esteban Ocon? The competition is tighter than an overtake at Monaco's Turn 1, and speaking of tight competitions, Alpine is promoting quite a battle. On one side, we have Mick Schumacher, son of the legendary Michael, wanting to prove his worth. On the other, Jack Doohan, with champion blood in his veins. Both will be tested by the team for a 2025 spot. It's like a reality show competition, but with way more adrenaline and horsepower. But attention, there's a plot twist in this whole story. Alpine is also eyeing Carlos Sainz. That's right. The Ferrari driver could join this game of musical chairs. So, who do you bet on? Will Schumacher follow in his father's footsteps? Will Duhan surprise everyone? Or will Sainz shake up the grid as we love? F1 is more unpredictable than the weather at Spa-Francorchamps, and that's why we love this sport so much. Stay tuned, because this season promises even more thrills. Now folks, hold on to your seats because here comes a bombshell that could change the entire F1 landscape. Remember we talked about Aston Martin hiring heavyweights? Well, they're not satisfied and want more, much more. The British team made an offer to none other than Adrian Newey. Yes, you heard it right, the genius behind Red Bull's dominant cars. The guy who is practically synonymous with victory in modern F1. And you know what's crazier? Newey's response should come at any moment. We're literally on the brink of one of the biggest transfers in F1 history. Just imagine, the man who designed Vettel's and Verstappen's cars working side by side with Fernando Alonso. It's chilling just thinking about it. If this happens, my friends, you can bet the entire grid will shake. Red Bull would lose its greatest asset, while Aston Martin would gain an absurd boost. We're talking about a change that could completely alter the balance of power in F1 for the coming years, and it doesn't stop there. With Cowell as CEO, Cardile on the technical team, and possibly Newey in design, Aston Martin is building a true F1 dream team. It's like we're witnessing the birth of a super team in real time. The tension is in the air, folks. Every minute that passes is a minute closer to this decision that could turn the F1 world upside down. Will we see the end of Red Bull's domination era? Will Aston Martin become the new dominant force? Whew, folks, what a roller coaster of emotions, huh? F1 is more agitated than a kart race with the office crew. Recapping, we have Verstappen causing controversy, Ricciardo fighting for his spot in the sun, teams making chess-worthy moves, and young talents knocking on the doors of the big teams. But the cherry on top is this possible transfer of Adrian Newey. It's like the entire paddock is holding its breath, waiting to see what will happen. You can feel the adrenaline in the air. And you know what's most amazing? All this is happening right now, right before our eyes. F1 never ceases to surprise us, and that's why we love this sport so much. Before wrapping up, I have a special request for you. If you enjoyed these hot news and want to stay on top of everything happening in the F1 world, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Just click that red button below. Also, hit the bell icon to not miss any videos. Your subscription is like a perfect pit stop for our channel. It really helps us keep bringing quality content to you. So, which of these news do you think will have the most impact on the championship? Leave in the comments what you think. Remember, in the F1 world, the only predictable thing is unpredictability. See you next time, folks, and keep those engines warm.